So how do you view the operation account oversight? Let's say the account collateral. So does this account collateral truly works in practice? And if in fact, under what kind of conditions?
If there's an affiliation between the JCE and the NCE, which in many cases there is, then you need what's called a construction monitor. And the construction monitor has to be independent. What is a construction monitor? They monitor loan disbursements. So the good sponsors, the really good sponsors, what do? When they make a loan disbursement, they get a draw request. The developer doesn't come to them and say, give me the money. They get a draw request, just like a senior lender. And a draw request is just like a senior loan. Here's the budget, here's what I spent, here's my monthly draw request, and this is the exact amount of money I spent. Please, you're funding my project. I already put my equity in, or it's there. Here's my proof of funding my equity. I bargain with you, and a lot of times you have a senior loan and an EB-5 loan. A lot of times the EB-5 will actually fund before the senior because EB-5 wants to get its money up. A lot of times senior lenders will say, I'll fund 50 cents on the dollar. I'll fund 50%, and EB-5, you fund 50%. So it's a very interesting dynamic in EB-5. You have to look at the details. But at the end of the day, what's very normal now is money isn't just given to a developer. It's given with a receipt and a draw request, and usually it's signed off on by some independent party. A lot of times in our loan documents, we actually, our sponsor clients making the loan hire the same construction monitor as a senior lender. So when there's a draw request, we get the senior lender gets it automatically, and the borrower pays for it. And that draw request goes to both lenders, and whatever the agreement between both lenders is, that money gets dispersed, and that's a real protection. And so be backed up. And sometimes some clients actually demand audited financial statements of the JCE. That's unusual, but that's another layer to get audited statements, so you know that or at least you get accountant reviewed statements or uncertified. You get some, and you get a quarterly report, you get an annual report, and every time you get a draw request. So you see as the project is going, and another thing I think you mentioned earlier, it's very important that there's transparency with investors. And we feel the very good sponsors are issuing quarterly newsletters to investors, giving them updates. They really communicate with them on a regular basis. It's very valuable, because you want the investors to feel transparent that they're getting the information as a project is being developed.